afternoon, everyone. And Mathu Saab has set the tone, and we see a lot of challenges in operating the CGD industries. First and foremost, I thank the Resonance team for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to come here and speak with you and share my views. And also would like to say that I'm not an expert in CGD, but whatever little learning I have got, working with the gas company and gas vertical of BPCL. So I would like to just share these views and what is that we can together do is what I think I look at it, because there are definitely a lot of challenges for these CGDs, but I also see a lot of opportunities available for all of us. First and foremost, I think we are all thankful that we are born in India. Okay, and we are all very proud to be Indians, and it's not only because we are born in India, but there is a story to be told about India. We all know that today India is very vibrant. It's a new India wherein there's a huge growth potential, huge growth we are already performing, which we are doing there. To share a few numbers, if you see the GDP numbers, globally, I think the globe is growing at around 3.3%. Okay, is the overall global GDP growth, in which the advanced economies are growing at around 1.8%, and the upcoming and developing economies are growing at around 4%. Whereas our country, India, is growing at 6.5%. That I think 25 growth was 4%, I think, and this year we are growing at 7.8%. So what does it show? What does it tell us? Here is a country which is going to drive the growth for the entire world. I don't think any country is close to us, and that to a major economy with growing at 6+ or 7+ GDP is a phenomenal thing. And definitely there are a lot of drivers for this, we all know. And few of the drivers are definitely the demography, we all know, which we are all again blessed to have. More than 50% of our population is less than 30%. That means a lot of strong hands, vibrant hands to work and grow the economy. Definitely, but that demography has to be definitely properly channelized and taken forward, which the government and every one of us are doing on that, that part of it. Very big thing which is coming also is which is happening already in making this GDP growth is the digitization. Okay, where we all know today, I think nobody can beat us on the UPI utilization. It all started from Aadhaar card and all, but today I think we are one of the progressive, one of the fast grown up, and we are, I think nobody is near to us in using the digital platform for payments and all. If I remember the numbers, somewhere around 20 billion hits were done last year to do the transactions. So digitalization is a very big thing which is happening, which is giving us a drive for this GDP growth. Third, I can say connected to our industry basically is about decarbonization, where renewable is been supported in a very big way. Just now Mathu sir was saying a lot of support is given to different energy sectors, but CGD industry is not given the desired support. I agree with him totally. There's no doubt about that. But then we have got also a very important role to play here. And the decarbonization, I feel the CGD entities especially have a very big role in this. Though, as rightly mentioned by Mathu sir, it's not a transition fuel. I don't believe there can't be something called transition fuel. Transition is just it's only it is for temporary few minutes, a few hours, a few days, and then it is converted. If you see the pharmaceutical industry, they use a small catalyst to transfer the molecule from beginning to end. So that is a temporary transition phase wherein the catalysts enter and then come out after the process. That is not going to happen with CGD industry. CGD industry is going to be there. And the global story tells us, across the globe, almost 24% of the energy basket, majority of the countries are holding through the natural gas. Okay, take our own state of Gujarat. The rest all of the states have just caught up. That's a different story. But otherwise, if you take the example of Gujarat itself, Gujarat is already having 26% energy contributed by natural gas. So it's not that it is going to be a transition fuel. It is going to be there, and it is going to be strongly running the show as far as energy basket is concerned. Okay, and our government has taken a very ambitious target of 6% to 15% contribution share of gas, natural gas. Okay, so Madhur sir just now mentioning in 11, 12 we are having 11% share. For whatever reason it has come down. Maybe as sir rightly mentioned, the desired support was not there, and the support was much for the other industries. It's okay, fine, I think, but now the time has come for CGD industries to look into it and take it forward, right? If you see the numbers, just now Madhu sir again shared the numbers. Currently, in India, we are almost like 195 SCMD is what we are consuming. Okay, and out of that, almost 29% is going to the fertilizer part of it. And CGD has now really grown substantially. Like, now last year it was almost 21.2% was the share, which is we have grown from a very big, it was a very small number. We have grown almost to 21.2% share, which is going to be there. 5 years back, our gas consumption was around 30 SCMD. Okay, now it has reached, in 5 years, it has reached 41 SCMD. That's around 11 SCMD has grown in last 5 years. But the next 5 years are going to be very, very, very important, wherein the numbers are projected to be almost around 72 to 73 SCMD. Okay, that's almost around 72 to 73% growth, which is going to come. Okay, now where will this growth come from in CGD? Yeah, there are few verticals which I think I will just try to touch upon. Definitely, if you look at the demand part of it, okay. Automobile, CNG is a very major contributor. Like even most of the CGDs where all the CGDs are working, anywhere between 60 to 70%, mostly it is all CNG. Depending upon again like GA to GA, it will be very little. Here and there. Like for example, Ramnagar district, it is the other way. There we have got more industries and 70% is industry and CNG is only 30%. Whereas for majority of the all GA, it is almost 60 to 70% CNG. Now, where is the CNG coming from? Now, where will the drive come from? If you see the figures currently, almost 40 to 42% registration of vehicles are into CNG. You agree with me or no? Hello. 40 to 42% is a number of which so many new vehicles are coming into the market. So that is going to be a big driver. In fact, it has overtaken the petrol growth. Petrol has now started degrowing. So on petrol front, on petrol vehicles, auto rickshaws, cars, taxi front, I think we are doing a great job. Okay, and I'm sure every customer is enjoying that also, except the queues which are visible on the roads, which we as a CGD companies have to address. Okay, the day we reduce the queues on the roads, I'm telling you, CNG is going to go from 40% to maybe 60, 70% or 80% also, because only one right now I feel like very strongly, looking at the CGD working. Biggest hurdle for any customer today to get into CNG is the queues. So we need to finish the queues. I was just speaking to somebody, how can we increase the speed of fueling of cars through those dispensers which are dispensing only 15 liters per minute, 15 kg per minute. If you can increase, considering the safety and all those things, to maybe at least 30, so the speed of disposing of the cars and auto rickshaws from the outlet will speed up and we can increase the efficiency. So and definitely customer is getting a benefit, though the prices in many places are, maybe 10 rupees is the difference between petrol and diesel and CNG. Like petrol is almost 103 rupees, whereas CNG is almost around 90 rupees. Majority of them are around 80, anywhere between 85 to 90, 91 and all. There is a 10 rupees difference or 11 rupees difference between CNG vis-a-vis the petrol price. But the moment the customer is getting into CNG, he is also getting an additional 8 to 10 kilometers extra mileage. So on an average, if you see per kilometer, a petrol price is around 7 rupees per kilometer, whereas for CNG, it is coming around 3 rupees. Okay, so there is a substantial saving for the customer. And without government support, this is only because of the CGD companies, of their efficiencies, we are able to keep the prices below 90. That's how we are actually fueling the growth of CNG customers. But if the government comes further and support us, I'm sure it will take to a different level. So, petrol part, I think to a very large extent, the issues are being taken care. But however, if you see the numbers, there's a huge potential available for CGD entities. If I tell you few numbers, I'm from BPCL, so little numbers I can just remember. petrol currently we are having almost on 40 million metric ton per annum is the sales. Whereas diesel is almost around 92 million tons of diesel we are selling currently. Out of that, almost 68 to 70% is going in transportation. I don't think any CGD industry as of date has got any volume from the diesel segment. आप imagine करिएगा 91 to 92 million tons of HSD is consumed in this country, which can be very easily replaced by gas, by natural gas. But we are not able to connect that particular segment, and the challenges are there. We know the challenges. This is where I personally feel we need government support. Okay, because as I think Mathur sir was saying, any industry initially to grow, it needs some support. If you see MGL and IGL story also, which started 25 to 30 years back, it was the APM product which was given to the customer, to those CGD entities, right from CNG to industrial to commercial. Everything was APM product which was available for all of them for a good amount of time, which is not there right now. We are only getting, today if you see, I'm getting only 38%. MNGL if you see, I'm getting only 38% of APM product. Rest all, 62% I'm blending, I'm importing. Okay. If we can get some support from government to get these diesel vehicles converted into LNG or CNG, the story is going to be totally different. Now, I think our ex-chairman, BPCL chairman, Sarthak Bevre sir was telling in the morning, it is actually, I agree with him, very openly I would say, it makes very little sense to replace LPG. LPG is already serving the purpose in a domestic premises, wherein except the safety element, okay, is what I think is little concern. Otherwise, pipe natural gas replacing LPG. There are 33 crores of LPG connections in the country. Okay, and right now I think CGD entities have touched 1.5 crores, pipe natural gas connections. I feel it's a little, it's a futile exercise, I can say so. Because LPG is already serving the purpose of an urban customer or even for rural customers under Prime Minister Ujjwala program and all. They have given 8 to 9 crore connections in last 10 years. The purpose of serving a customer a lady in her kitchen is been taken care. Now each CGD entity is spending 20,000 to 50,000 also. Some places up to 50,000 per connection. We are spending the thing and we are trying to replace LPG, which I feel, and for which 100% APM is given by government, which needs to be reviewed. This is where I think the government can look into and divert that APM product from kitchen, from domestic connection to the diesel customers. If they can tell us, we'll give you whatever quantity of, let them take at least some percentage of it. If they can allot it to LNG customers, for converting diesel customer to get converted into LNG and CNG, and especially LNG, I think it is going to make a big difference for this country and it will really bring a lot of value addition. In two ways. One is diesel is more polluting, no doubt about that, we are all aware of that. And also, today 50% of gas production is happening in the country, whereas 86 to 87% crude is imported for diesel purpose. So from 87, 86, if we bring it to 50%, still we are saying 30, 37% of imports on crude front of it. We can replace that part of us. So this is one of the area we very strongly feel government support is required. And once it takes off, I'm sure LNG is going to be a game changer. And recently I was in China. 70% of their all long-haul truckings are on LNG. Beautiful facilities. 70% trucks are running on LNG there. And their LNG stations are selling 30,000, 40,000 kg per day. And LNG station establishment cost is only 2.8 crores, 2.5 crores. Whereas in India, we are spending almost 10 to 12 crore rupees for establishing one LNG station. So all this entire value chain needs to be revisited, including the installation of LNG facilities. Some of them are, I think, providing us LNG facilities, ultra gas यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं. तो वहाँ पे एक CIME करके मेरे ख्याल से कंपनी था, हम लोगों ने LNG स्टेशन में विजिट किया था. तो वहाँ पे उन्होंने 2.5 करोड़ में 4 डिस्पेंसर, एक 56 स्केल टैंक, एक क्रायोजेनिक टैंक और बॉयल ऑफ के लिए एक स्पेशल टैंक SCADA, everything they gave, 2.5 crores. So going forward, we need the equipment value chain support for keeping the cost low and the government support, wherein we can really build the story of LNG. Okay, so that is one of the elements. Few coming to MNGL, another 2-3 minutes, sir. Sir, it's okay. Yeah. So MNGL, I think I spoke only about LNG and growth potential, but as MNGL, we have been very well focusing on, though DPNG is not a very lucrative as of now from capex point of view, but still looking at our MWP and all, we're doing almost like we crossed 1 million connections we already given. But we'll be very happy if government can swipe that number from DPNG to LNG plant. They can say you put one LNG plant and you swipe maybe 50,000 of DPNG against that. So if you put that, I think that would be a great support for us. I think if anybody is listening, if we can communicate to government on that part, I think it will be great. In fact, we have told this to our PNG chairman also, because it doesn't make much of sense. Okay, so you swap, I'll put one LNG station, you swap some 20,000 or 50,000, whatever number you feel okay, is what we did. So in MNGL, we have put, as Mathur sir rightly mentioned, we have put our biggest LNG station, LNG LCNG station of Southeast Asia, which we are having 3 tanks of 114 KL, and we are supplying all the 4 streams. And I'm very happy to say that we have crossed more than 2.2 lakh SCMD, okay, from this plant. It's only, I think, the only GA in the country wherein before we get the pipeline, Vivek sir यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं, तो उनके टाइम he was is GAIL and head of Mumbai region, तो उनके efforts भी काफ़ी उसके अंदर हुए थे, लेकिन ours is only a GA wherein I think we have crossed to more than 2 lakh SCMD through only LNG and LCNG stations. Average, on average, 37 trucks of LNG are operating to get the product from us. It's a very high risk, but we have put a lot of systems in place, and we are very proud that we are supplying such a huge quantity. And PNGRB has also set it as a example for all other CGDs to take it forward. In fact, we ourselves are trying to replicate in our other GAs, like Nanded GA. We are planning to put LNG station. We are trying to put one in Khamgaon is a place. You're just now asking where we want to put it. So we have plans to put in Ramnagar. So we are planning at least 4 to 5 LNG stations to replicate this model and take it, start giving the gas, because everywhere the pipeline cannot reach, and it's very costly business for putting the pipeline. So LNG is one story. Second story, I would like to talk, very successful story, LNG story it is. We also have commissioned second LNG station in Nasik at Zodge, which has already started heating almost 30,000 to 40,000 SCMD. Okay, which again, we are now plans to make it 1 lakh SMD. Okay, so that is the second LNG station. Few more success, one more success story I would like to share, wherein all other CGD can also try. Okay, we have got something called as Trigen facilities. We have got a Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital in Pune. Okay, I think around 800 bed hospital. We have commissioned the facility, Trigen facility, wherein they generate almost 35,000 units of power every day they are consuming. 600 tons of air conditioning, 90,000 liters of hot water. Everything is getting generated, created by one molecule of gas which we are supplying to them through the pipeline. And if you see the commercial charge, cost of power, electricity power is almost on 19 rupees to 23 rupees is what is there in Maharashtra and for commercial customers. So they are using our gas almost like it is now 10 years, almost like 10 years. Last 10 years they are running these units successfully, not a single breakdown, not a single stoppage of supplies, touch wood. Okay. And every year, very successfully they are operating and saving almost around 6 crore rupees is what is their saving. And more than that, all those medical equipments are very sensitive to the power fluctuation. The power which they are generating is very, very stable, and their equipments are very nicely taken care, and there is no any damages to the equipments. So this is a success story wherein we are now trying to replicate in 2 more units. We are already in the initial stage of discussion, but this can mostly be done in the greenfield projects only, because once the hotels and hospitals, if once they establish the entire system, then it becomes very difficult for them also to again remove them. Like for example, air conditioning, if they have put it, now to replace them with the new system and all, it becomes a little challenging. Okay, even for water heating and all, if they put it. So it's my request to all the CGD entity officers, especially marketing people or who are there involved in that, please look at those projects which are greenfield projects. Connect with them well in before they are on the they are on the drawing table, and try to connect and finalize the pricing and all. Right now we are working with two of them. One is Magarpatta city, they are coming to the very big hospital, and one more RSS hospital is coming of almost around I think 1,000 beds. So initial my team is already working with them, and we are hoping that both of them will get converted into gas-based trigen facilities, which is very unique. Okay, and any more expert, any more details you want, you please get connected with us. We are ready to share, because I feel for each and every CGD there's enough room for all of us to grow. It's not that we are competing against each other. Okay, though our exclusivity is only for 8 years on the paper, but I'm sure that is not going to affect us much. So we should all collaborate as a CGD industry. We're not a competitor. We can work together to get those learnings from each other, like what good things you have done, we should learn what we have done. I think we can collaborate and take it forward. So these are some of the thoughts which are coming to my mind. And overall MNGL is I think one of the best performing CGD entity in the country. We have done almost around 3,600 crores of the revenue last year, with a PAT of almost 652 crores. Okay, so it's a shining star. And I would also compliment to all the CGD entities. You should not be worried. Policies change होएगा, हम लोग सब मिलके लड़ना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. But I think we are in the right industry today, which is having a beautiful future. It's not, as I said, not a transition. Actually, ये अगले 50 साल तक तो मेरे ख्याल से CGD का ये time है. So we'll all work together and we'll take it, try to make it a great success. And thank you once again for your time. Thanks a lot.